The avoidant person expects dramatic endings filled with emotional confrontation, desperate pleas, or angry accusations that they can dismiss or defend against using their well-practiced defensive mechanisms. Their psychological framework prepares them for pursuit, conflict, or attempts to change their mind that validate their narrative about others being too emotional or demanding. However, there exists a form of closure so profound it bypasses all their protective strategies and strikes directly at their deepest wound, being forgotten and deemed irrelevant. This silent closure operates through complete absence of drama, explanation, or emotional processing that communicates they have become genuinely unimportant. The power of unexplained departure. The silent closure involves complete withdrawal from the avoidant person's life without explanation, confrontation, or emotional discussion about the relationship's end. This departure differs fundamentally from angry exits or tearful goodbyes that provide the avoidant person with clear narrative about what went wrong. The absence of explanation creates psychological void they cannot fill with their usual rationalizations or defensive stories. They find themselves unable to categorize the ending or understand what triggered such complete withdrawal. This unexplained absence communicates that they have become so irrelevant that their former partner did not consider them worthy of closure, conversation, or emotional processing. The silence suggests complete indifference rather than hurt feelings, triggering their deepest fear of insignificance and abandonment. They begin obsessing over what caused the departure, replaying interactions to identify the moment everything shifted, and desperately seeking understanding they will never receive. The lack of closure prevents them from achieving psychological resolution and moving forward with their usual ease. The absence of pursuit or emotional reaction. The silent closure involves maintaining absolute radio silence without any attempts to check in, seek explanation, or express feelings about the relationship's end. This absence of pursuit proves particularly devastating for the avoidant person who unconsciously expects their former partner to eventually break down and reach out. When weeks stretch into months without any contact attempts, it forces recognition that someone has genuinely moved beyond caring about their presence or absence. The lack of emotional reaction communicates that the avoidant person's behavior was not hurtful enough to warrant discussion or painful enough to inspire pursuit. This suggests they failed to make sufficient impact to generate strong feelings of any kind, positive or negative. The indifference proves more painful than anger or sadness would have been, as it indicates they have become genuinely forgettable rather than meaningfully hurtful. Their sense of significance and control evaporates when they realize their withdrawal triggered neither pursuit nor processing, the visible evidence of thriving without them. The silent closure becomes complete when the avoidant person witnesses their former partner radiating happiness, success, and fulfillment that demonstrates their absence created space for growth rather than devastation. This visible flourishing contradicts their unconscious assumption that they held essential significance in their former partner's life and happiness. When someone not only survives but dramatically improves without them, it challenges their fundamental understanding of their own importance. They observe their former partner engaging with life fully, forming new connections, achieving goals, and embodying vitality that suggests liberation rather than loss. This transformation communicates that the relationship's ending was gift rather than tragedy, that their presence was limiting rather than enhancing. The contrast between their former partner's obvious happiness and their own growing emptiness creates desperate desire to reclaim what they recognize too late as valuable. The psychological impact that inspires begging. The silent closure creates a perfect storm of psychological triggers that overwhelm the avoidant person's usual defenses. The combination of no explanation, no pursuit, and visible thriving forces them to confront that their defensive patterns have succeeded in making them genuinely irrelevant to someone who once cared deeply.